Hi there, welcome to my views and news stories. Firstly, a new move by the Ethiopian Prime Minister, Ethiopian government to counter Egyptian efforts to stop Ethiopia from gaining access to sea. Secondly, I had a video of yours I told you about Eritrea, that Eritrean government has released 18 crew members of three Azerbaijani ships captured by Eritrean Navy in November last year. I told you about release of crew members, not ships. Now I have an update for you. Have the ships been released or not? Allegedly, ships were carrying weapons meant for Ethiopia. Some opposition activists, Amhara journalists claim that the ships were carrying weapons. I have an update for you. Let's start with first. We know that Egyptian president office this morning issued a statement opposing entry of any non-Red Sea country to the Red Sea, saying that the Red Sea can only be managed, can only be governed by Red Sea countries. No littoral states have no right to be on the Red Sea. Basically, Egypt issued the statement after meeting with the Eritrean foreign minister. Eritrea and Egypt are opposing Ethiopian entry at the Red Sea. Ethiopia in talks with Somalia, trying to gain access to sea for a port use. Sustainable sea access Ethiopia wants. Eritrea, Egypt, Somalia have been forming an alliance. They have formed an alliance against Ethiopia. When Ethiopia signed MOU with Somaliland, the three countries united, but things changed a little after that because Ethiopia withdrew from implementing MOU with Somaliland. Turkey mediated. Now Ethiopia is in talks with Somalia to gain access through Somalia. Eritrea, Egypt concerned, they don't want to see Ethiopia reaching the Red Sea through Somalia. That's what they're issuing statement saying that non-Red Sea countries have no right to be a party in governing the Red Sea. While Egypt is teaming up with Eritrea, Ethiopian PM made a move this morning to counter Egyptian efforts to undermine Ethiopian plans to gain access to sea. PM Abiy of Ethiopia contacted Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, this morning. What is important about this contact is that after telephonic call between PM Abiy and Israeli PM, reportedly, Israel showed support for Ethiopian efforts to gain access to the Red Sea. A very interesting developments. We know that Israel and Egypt are not on good terms. Israel wants Palestinians of Gaza to be expelled into Egypt from Gaza. US has also been trying to convince Egypt to take in Palestinians from Gaza. Egypt not agreeing, saying that Palestinians should not be pushed into Egypt. That will lead to spread of instability in Egypt. So Egypt, as a principle, has rejected Donald Trump's idea of settling Palestinians of Gaza into Egypt, into other countries. That is why US not happy with Egypt. Israel not happy with Egypt. Israel accuses Egypt that Egypt secretly support Palestinians, that Palestinians have built underground tunnels which connect Gaza with Egypt. Egypt rejects these allegations. While Egypt is forming an alliance with those who oppose Ethiopia, Ethiopia is forming an alliance or trying to form an alliance with Israel, which is an arch rival of Egypt these days. These days, you can say. Israel's support for Ethiopian case for access to sea, access to the Red Sea is definitely a big development for Ethiopia, because I have not heard any country saying openly that Ethiopia must have access to the Red Sea. Israel openly supporting Ethiopian case for access to the Red Sea, but can Israel play any role in facilitating Ethiopia gaining access to the Red Sea? Or is it just a statement? It seems to be just a statement. Israel practically perhaps cannot play any role in facilitating Ethiopia gaining access to sea, but that just shows the alignment, regional alignment. Ethiopia wants to have allies on its side to press its case for access to sea. Egypt, Eritrea, they want to have allies on their side to stop Ethiopia from reaching the Red Sea. Secondly, viewers, has Eritrea released 3 Azerbaijani ships? I had a video I told you about the crew member of 3 ships who have been released. It was November last year when 3 Azerbaijani ships were intercepted by Eritrean Navy as they entered Eritrean territorial waters due to bad weather. Since November, the ships have been in the custody of Eritrean authorities. And several journalists, Amhara activists claimed, several sources claimed the ships were carrying weapons. That Damascus Torone, Ethiopian deputy PM visited Azerbaijan. They struck a weapon purchase deal. After that, shipments were sent to Ethiopia through Djibouti, but the shipments entered Eritrean waters due to bad weather. Eritrea then seized the weapon and shipments the ships. The crew member of 3 ships, 18, have been released, confirmed by Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry. What about ships? Have the ships been released or not? Well, a viewer contacted me. He shared data of Massawa port. He has access to the data of ships docked at the port, leaving the port, arriving at the port. His access to an app, paid subscription he has to an app, and he can get real-time information. And the data he has shared with me shows that there are only 2 vessels parked or docked at Massawa port. Azerbaijani ships were docked at Massawa port. They were captured there. Now, at this point in time, I'm going to this video, there are 2 vessels docked at the Massawa port. Firstly, a tugboat is definitely not the Azerbaijani ship. Secondly, a Kenyan container ship. So there are no Azerbaijani ships docked at Massawa port now. It means Eritrea has released ships as well, not just crew members. Next question is, has Eritrea released the load as well? The ships were carrying some load. Ethiopian government critics say that the load was basically weapons. So were the ships carrying weapons and ships have been released while the load is in the custody of Eritrean government, or the ships were not carrying weapons and Eritrean government has released the ships? It's not clear, but the ships have been released. Real-time data show there are no ships docked at Massawa port now. It's very likely that the ships with their loads have been released. So it does not make sense that the government would agree to take back ships while keeping the load, the weapons in Eritrean custody. It does not make sense, it seems. Crew members released, but Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry did not share details of the ships. Have they been released or not? Some sources said the ships have been released. They have been sent to the companies which own the ships. Uh, I think the government, Eritrean government, Azerbaijani government should share details. What the ships carrying, weapons or not? What the weapons meant for Ethiopia? So far, only rumors, no credible information that the ships were carrying weapons. But the three vessels have been released. They are not docked at Massawa port now. Crew members released as well, 18 crew members. Thank you for watching.